Weird Al Yankovic coming at you with the McNews today. How's this? Okay. Just kidding. I found that at the Walmart and it was really dirt cheap. And I just had to put it on for the McNews today. Alright. I've got a new camera here. And I wonder if it's going to look different. It's a Sony. It's putting a little square around my head on the screen. Alright. Eventually, my goal is to, oh God. I'm sorry. Okay. Well. Alright, then. My goal is to have two cameras set up so that I can cut the McNews and have it look a little more like a regular news show. I really don't like that square on this thing. Anyway, I splurged. And I'm okay with splurging. My wife gets to splurge. Why can't I? The McNews cut out last night because the battery died on my camera, my Panasonic. They're both HD, so they should have the same quality. And, in fact, they're, what do they call it? They both have some special HD that Panasonic and Sony came up with, some special format, which was a real pain in the butt to try and figure out how to convert into whatever so I could put it on YouTube. I had to convert the file. Anyway, the camera cut out on me yesterday. And I decided to just let that be the episode because it was, you know, I pretty much filled up the time slot that I want to fill up. I'm trying to make them shorter. How am I doing? I'm kind of a windbag, you know. I think today's McNews is the first time that I've, you know, passed win on the show. That just came out. So I closed out yesterday with the LGBLT community, lesbian, gay, bacon, lettuce, and tomato community. I think that's the funniest thing. Okay, I always forget what they call themselves, their acronym there. So I just think BLT. Anyway, why was I talking about them? I just remember I was pissed that the thing cut out and I was just on a roll and I thought it was so funny. Okay, I didn't even watch that one, by the way. I just posted it. And, why was I talking about them? Oh well, I guess I just want to address that subject because I flat out think that the lesbian, bacon, lettuce, tomato community is constantly causing problems and issues in this country over any little oversensitive thing that they can. I mean, they're as bad as the blacks are about this stuff, you know. And I mean that. I really mean that. Because the blacks, they're just hunting for any little issue that's gonna, you know, that they can twist and turn and act like everyone's against them, you know. And what I don't think they realize is that we don't really care, you know. It's like, we care, you know, we want you guys to have good schools and to not become violent, drug, gun-toting criminals, but it takes a little work on your end too, you know. It's not just like, oh, well, let's just mooch off the government and get social services and not work and live in these sewer communities and not better our communities and come together and do anything about it and then just keep bitching and bitching and bitching, you know. That's like, it's the modus operandi of a mooch and a lazy person, and there's a collective of these lazy people that are wanting to blame it on something. And, you know, I think the lesbian, bacon, lettuce, tomato community is kind of the same way. They're kind of putting their problems on society instead of doing something to better their own lives. And I think there's a real psychosis involved. I was talking about how gayness only happens in captivity with animals. And yet these animals that refuse to, how did Brad Pitt say it in Fight Club? I want to kill every panda that won't fuck to save their species. Or, I think Norton said that. But they're like the same guy, so who cares? Anyway, yeah, you know, I don't know what the psychology is there, but I think there's some fear and terror and real soul searching these people have to do. It's obvious, you know, and I don't know what's going on with the, you know, demanding this rights thing. You know, it's like we give them equal rights. They already have equal rights, but we give them the right to get married, right? And it's just like, it's like the African American community all over again. What did that do? What did that do? They've had equal rights, equal education, equal opportunity, even more opportunity. Free money being thrown in that direction. And what's it done? It's made more gangs, more violence, more crime. And somehow that's the fault of white people in their mind, because they're demonizing white people. They've become convinced that white people are the enemy, and the bacon lesbian and gays have become convinced that heterosexual people are their enemies, I guess. You know, everyone has a shadow enemy, all right? And what I think this country was built on was the fact that if you work hard, you can actually have everything that you need and live a good life. And if you don't work hard, then you're not going to have that, and you're gonna be working a shitty job. And you're gonna, you know, have to eat what you can afford, which might be crappy. You'll still get to eat. I mean, you'll eat like a king compared to, you know, most people on this planet. And if you don't try, this country still takes care of you. Gives you welfare, gives you food stamps. So where's the incentive for anyone to try? You know? And this has a cultural weight going on now among these subgroups. And, you know, I mentioned Asians the other day because I was thinking about how they're not, you know, they're not in ghettos. You know, you look at the proportion of Asians who come from these cultures where they're taught to excel and work hard, and I mean, they're making lots of money, they have good jobs, they're brilliant. You always know that you see Asian and you're just like, wow, that's a smart person. Not all of them, but you know what I mean. A disproportionately high number, you know. And do you assume that when you see a black person? I don't. I don't assume that they're stupid until I hear that whether they can speak proper English or not, and then, you know, and then I'm like, why would you want to talk like that? You know, if you're smart, why would you talk like you're an ignorant piece of trailer trash, or, you know, it can't be, you know, it's not very smart. I mean, everybody goes to school, everyone is taught how to speak English. So it's a rebellion thing, it's a cultural identity thing. And, you know, I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around this stuff. I have a blacktivist friend, okay, Stephen Barnes. And he's educated and written books. He's a physical trainer kind of guy. And he's on Facebook, thousands of friends, lots of admiration from people, and very intelligent. But he's got this weird thing where he's watching movies. He watches movies to see how the black people in the movies are treated, because he's convinced that there's a conspiracy against black people in Hollywood, and he says if the black guy dies in the first 5 minutes or whatever, he'll walk out of the theater. Something like that. I can't remember the exact quote. He's paying attention to how long the black character survives, because he thinks that black people are being devalued in these movies and not, you know, And I'm just like looking at it and I'm like, really? Like, you go into a movie and like, I don't even pay attention to the fact that there's a black person or an Asian person or a white person. It's just like, you know, it's just what it is. There's a movie going on. Here's the characters going on. What? So be like, oh, you know, I don't take it personally is what I'm trying to say. You can't take it personally. You know, and there's a demographic, and these movies are made, sure, a lot of them are probably aimed at a white movie-going audience, you know? And there's different movies aimed at different audiences because they just want to make money. So he did mention one time that they never put black guys with white women in a movie. You'll see a white guy and a black girl as a couple, and a romantic couple, but you won't see a black guy and a white woman. Now, I can't say that I watch enough movies to know if that's true. Jungle Fever, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even see that movie. I just remember the video box in the video store back in the day, and it was some kind of a big deal. I think it was Spike Lee or Spike Jones, one of those guys. But Spike, the whole guy's named Spike. Just one guy. That's the secret. Cause who wouldn't even name your kid Spike? What are you, a bulldog? Okay, irrelevant. Nah, this is an inflammatory McNews. This is gonna upset people. I can tell already. I'm gonna get some hate mail. But I'd like to hear. I don't care if you hate what I'm saying or if you love it. If you agree, I'd like to hear from all sides on this, because I think we're being turned into a country of excuse makers and blamers, and what's really lacking is the actual desire to be something, to be the best thing that you can be, to work hard, to be proud of yourself, to be an upstanding person, a good person, to do the right thing when it's called for, even if it doesn't serve your own agendas, or, you know. So black, white, bacon, lesbian, tomatoes, I want to hear from everybody. Asian, how are you people so smart? Even Asians that are born here, that were not raised in that school system over there that's like a slave driver, brilliant people. Are their brains more adept? Anyway, nobody talks about this stuff, okay? Nobody talks about this. This is, you know, the minute everyone's looking for someone to say something inflammatory. See, go ahead. I'm being inflammatory, and I don't care. You know. And when they want to write nigger and the internet, it's always N asterisk 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 ER. Just say the word nigger. Big deal. It's just a word. It's just like asshole. You know. It just doesn't matter. This is not important, but it's not even that the people that are trying to crucify everyone about it think it's important. Don Imus, nappy-headed hose. Oh, you're a racist. Don, oh my God, he called them nappy hose. No, man, it's a witch hunt. It's just another excuse for, you know, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton to come out of their closets and start screaming and whipping people into a frenzy, because this country just gets off on people getting all upset, getting people bent out of shape, and you profit off of that. Basically, you get these people so mad, and they put you up on a pedestal, and then they listen to you, and you become like a demagogue or something. And it's all sides are trying to do this. And they're trying to build these teams, you know, these titans, and knock each other down. But who cares? It's just words. I'm not racist. I don't care. I want all people to have good things, that work hard for good things. And I want all people to have good educations. You know, children, that's okay. That's the one really, really tragic thing I see going on, is that children in the ghetto are being raised by these piece of shit asshole parents, crackheads, thieves, criminals, broken families, shitty schools. So You have little children who don't know anything better that are trapped down there. And the system is just feeding money, giving their parents free money that the parents don't use to better the child's life because the parents are too fucking stupid to think of their own children. In that case, I mean, why aren't those kids being taken away and put in foster care? Why aren't those parents being locked up for neglect? You know, why? They're criminals. And instead of where's the sanity down there? I just don't get it. I mean, it's like we have to just, you know, bulldoze half of those people into a body pit. All the worthless riffraff and trash that's spreading like a cancer down there, and take all the good people out and give them a good place to live, free from gangs, free from drugs, free from, you know, whatever that ghetto bullshit is. And give these children with bright eyes a chance to be a human being and not be surrounded in this vicious world of, you know, of trash. So how do you do that? I guess that's the real problem facing America, and oh boy, did I just open that can of worms up. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I should be on NBC because I'm actually talking about the real problem that's going on instead of just, well, do you think that white people and blah, 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 well, no, and black people and blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up, you bunch of assholes. There's a real problem going on, and it's not that, God. It's not the race war. It's not the racism. It's both ways it goes. Both sides. Both sides are standing across a field and glaring at each other. And you know what? People need to reach out a hand across that bridge, but people don't need to reach out and get fucked over either. You know, and taken advantage of. So if you're willing to come into the middle, then okay, here we go. Here's a middle ground. Here's a place that we can all build together from. But if you just want to stay there mooching like a piece of shit and, you know, shooting drugs and smoking drugs and snorting drugs and teaching your kids this and becoming gangsters because you don't want to have to work hard at anything and you dropped out of school because you were an asshole in your class trying to, you know, be a rebel and not pay attention and learn anything and develop your brain, then, you know, okay, bye-bye. We'll stay in the ghetto, you know? Seriously, that's what the ghetto is for. It's for those people. But it's not for these bright-eyed children. Anyway, I don't have the answer. I'm thinking. I've got lots of answers. Really lots of thoughts on it. But I'm going to end the McNews right now because it's pretty long and I have probably pissed off a sizable percentage of liberals with this one. Even though I consider myself a liberal, it doesn't mean that I'm a bleeding heart jackass who's trying to just give my hard-earned money away to people who aren't willing to do a fucking thing for it. I think people on welfare should have to put in work. They should have to work for less than minimum wage to earn that welfare, doing things like cleaning the city and blah blah blah, whatever, and they'll get off welfare really quick because they're gonna find that they don't like working for $5 an hour. You know, oh, okay, you can't get a job. Really, you can't get a job? There's no jobs available, huh? Okay, well here you can clean trash up for $5 an hour. We'll help you out there as long as you're helping yourself, and then when you decide that you can go and actually get yourself a job because you actually want to better your life and not just mooch off the rest of us, then okay, there it is. I think Don McCluskey just solved the entire problem in the whole country. Didn't I? Okay. I saw these buttons on the side of this new camera and I thought there was something on my wall. Anyway, Don McCluskey out.